Hello everyone, this is Dim Sum StarCraft back, and this is going to be another game with LiquidHuk, and his opponent this time will be MakaPrime. As some of you all may know out there who play StarCraft, MakaPrime, he is the guy who invented the Maka racks, which is pretty much building the racks uh, out here or even down here, and then build two racks and then pump out Marines and rush your opponents with SCVs and Marines and try to build a bunker in your opponent's base and then take out your opponent that way. So he is famous for that, and he is a very top level Korean player, and we'll see what he decides to do this game. And his opponent is our Protoss player, Huck, and Huck is one of the best Protoss players out there, in my opinion. Um, aside from some of the other Protoss players, I believe Huck is one of the best out there. Um, and if you guys tuned in last time, Huck played against another Korean player, which I cannot pronounce his name, and Huck, the Korean player, cheesed Huck, but Huck still won. So we'll see what Huck decides to do. We see here that Huck already had his probe scouting MakaPrime just to make sure that Maka doesn't pull off any cheese, especially with the MakaPrime technique that he always do. And here we go, Maka pulling off the second SCV to get rid of this pesky little probe right here. This probe is still flying, going around in Maka's base. And Maka right now is doing standard, and Maka decides to get a gas, so which means that Maka is not going to be going his Maka racks, which he's very famous for. And we'll see what he does. He's getting out one Marine first, and Huck is going pretty standard right now, just gateways. And I did check Huck. I believe Huck is in the top 200 for the North American server, but I don't exactly know for sure. And since MakaPrime is playing here, I believe Maka, this is his account on the North American server. And Huck getting his cybernetics core after the gateway with his gas, so we're going to be seeing very standard Protoss play from Huck. We'll see what Huck decides to do, if he decides to go 4-gate. And what is Huck doing? There is 5 probes chasing this SCV right here. Note, these 4 are going back to work, and this one probe is still chasing this SCV. Maka's SCV is still going around Huck's base just to give in the scout and see what Huck is going. And Huck is pumping out one stalker, most likely going to get rid of this SCV before Huck decides to throw down any tech structures or more gateways into 4-gate. And Maka, we have a reactor here and a tech lab, so Maka is not deciding to go for Marauders first, which is very effective against Protoss. He decides to get out the reactor and just pump out a bunch of Marines, which is very much Maka style of play. Maka just loves his Marine play and loves pumping out his Marines. And we see Huck getting a sentry down already, and this stalker is just still scouting around in the middle of the map just to make sure that there's no Marines gathering up here. And Huck have this sentry ready just in case if Maka decides to push in with all those Marines. He can just force field. One force field is just enough to block the ramp right here, and Maka will not be able to get in. And just to let you guys know, we are playing on Jungle Basin, which both opponents are spawned cross position, and I believe Maka is not designed to do his Maka racks just because the rush distance is actually pretty long in this map, and Maka will have to get up to the base in order to attack, and he knows that Huck will not be and the natural is in the back of each player's base, so it's be very easy to secure the natural. But we do have these destructible rocks on both player side, and once these rocks are destroyed, it's very easy to attack the back door of your opponent's base. And we see both Huck and Maka, they're both designed to fast expand, and so there's not going to be much action going on, but Maka does have a ton of Marines, and the concussive shell into the actually it's the stim pack upgrade is going on right now for Maka. And as we can see, Huk has his expansion up already, and he's got his robotics bay right here, so it's 2 gate into robotics, and then Huk is dropping down 2 more gateways, so it's going to be 4 gate total, and with robotics, and Huk is pumping out the observer just to see what Maka is exactly up to, because if you play Maka, you never know what kind of cheese that he might pull, or just any kind of crazy strategy he might do. And Huk is moving out with 3 stalkers right now to the middle of the map, most likely just for base control and not much else. And I do like what Maka is doing right here, just putting 1 Marine right here just to make sure that Huk is not trying to destroy his backdoor rocks and trying to sneak his way in from the back. And now Huk is pumping out a second observer. Most Protoss players just do about 2 observers, sometimes even 3, but 3 is kind of overkill. And this 1 Marine takes out that probe, the scouting probe right there. And as you can see, Maka is just using that 1 Marine to stim and not stimming his entire army, which will bring down their life a lot. And this observer is going to Maka's base, and I believe Maka probably sees the cloaking image moving right here, and he knows there's probably an observer in his base. And let's check the unit tab right here. Huk is macroing much harder than Maka is with 43 probes, and Maka is only at 32 SCVs. As you can see, Huk is trying to push out, but Maka is ready with his 2 supply depots and a bunker here for defense. And Maka's scan right here, I believe he took out. Yes, Maka did take out that first observer that Huk sent in, and Huk's second observer is somewhere else. And there goes the 1 lone Marine trying to scout right there, running into Huk's army. There's no way he's going to survive there. And Huk is continuing getting observers. Huk really wants this map control just to make sure that Maka is not doing anything suspicious or anything out of the ordinary. And right now, Maka has 3 barracks. His factory just sitting out in the front of the base, not doing much, and dropping his starport on the reactor so he can pump out double medvacs or Vikings, which Maka has decided to pump out Vikings, which unfortunately for Maka, Huk is not pumping out Colossus at the moment. He does have his Colossus. Does he have his Colossus tech ready? I do not believe he's got his Colossus tech ready. So, but Huk is getting his +1 weapon upgrade for his Protoss army. And here's Maka, his scouts. So Maka sees the Twilight Council and the robotics facility and sees all these stalkers right here. So Maka will most likely guess that Huk might be going for blink stalkers, but Huk is going for Zealot leg right now. And Maka is just dropping more racks, and he's pumping out more Marines and more Vikings. And here comes some. Maka's going to do some drop right here. And look at this. Maka drops down the Ghost Academy, so most likely he's going to get the Ghost EMP to stop this Huk's army, or even get a nuke as well. And Huk is deciding to move out with his army right here. I believe he sees this dropship from the observer earlier, and yes, he does. And this dropship goes down with all the units except for 2 Marauders right here, but both Marauders don't stand a chance against Huk's army right here. And Huk secures this Zalnaga watchtower with 4 sentries and 5 zealots. So Huk is spreading out his army just to gain map control right here. And Huk is pumping out a lot of gateways and all these pylons in the back, and he's getting a Twilight Templar archives, most likely for the High Templar to deal with the mass bio ball right here from Maka. And Maka has all these Vikings, but they're not going to be any use just because Huk is not deciding to go the Colossus tech, just because Huk earlier had the observer in Maka's base and saw